That's what I told. If it's for European roads, it might be okay, but for Indian roads, it might be a little bit of problem. If you have a good national highway like this, and if you are going to use it on the highway, it is a good motorcycle. And when you bring the motorcycle in a good price bracket, you have to make sure about the quality of the motorcycle. It shouldn't be like a compromised version of it, but still, these two will be having a good price difference. Because what the man, what the what is so if you have this kind of a doubt whether you should wait for this motorcycle, let me make this clear for you. If you What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video on this channel. So today's topic is about the Royal Enfield's Super Meteor. So I have the Interceptor 650 with me. So by the way, this is not a first ride impression of the Super Meteor or not. It's going to be an expectation review of the Super Meteor. Should you buy it or should you wait for it, or should you go for the Interceptor 650 before that? Royal Enfield has already told that by 2023 Jan to March the Super Meteor will be getting delivered. So before that, if you are in a hurry, should you wait for it or should you buy a Meteor or should you buy a Interceptor? Let's look in this video. So here goes my 2 cents. Alright, so today we had a nice morning ride. That's the Street Twin which came with me. So let's crank this up. So obviously I wanted to do this video on the Interceptor 650 than on a Meteor 350. Yes, Meteor 350 is going to be the downscale model of the Super Meteor, but the Super Meteor gonna have a lot of similarities with the Interceptor 650. So let's see that. So first of all, Super Meteor comes in two models, the Solo Tourer and the Grand Tourer. So the Solo Tourer, as the name says, is going to be a touring motorcycle for someone who wanted to ride without a pillion, wanted to go somewhere solo, which has very less accessories and all. And obviously the Grand Tourer has a lot of accessories on it. You can see that in this image itself. It's a good thing that Royal Enfield is going to offer a lot of touring accessories. You don't have to make it anything aftermarket, so that's a good part. So these are going to be the different versions, and I expect these two will be having a good price difference. Because what the man, what is this guy doing? Holy crap, this is a national highway and he's coming on the wrong way. Alright, let's come back to this topic. So yes, the Solo Tourer and Grand Tourer are gonna have a lot of price difference. Yeah, I meant a lot, because the Grand Tourer is getting a more comfortable seat, a crash bar, a back seat support, the pannier kind of setup. I don't know whether it's a very hard setup or a soft setup, but looking at it, it looks like a solid pannier. So these things will quite adds up some money, and according to me, I feel that there will be a price difference of something like 40,000. This is my calculation. If it's something like 40,000, it'll be value for money based on the accessories that I see on the motorcycle. And I really would like to categorize this motorcycle as a premium motorcycle, because Royal Enfield is not just targeting the Indian customers. They are mainly looking for the European market. That's the reason why they came with a touring motorcycle in the same 650cc, because they already have the Interceptor and the GT, and now they are coming with a tourer version of it. So I believe that is mainly targeting the European and the US market. So let's see what all the changes that I see with the new Super Meteor. So the Super Meteor is going to be comfortable for short riders, of course, because the seat height is 740mm, and on this one it's somewhere from 790 to 800. That means you gotta have a really nice saddle, but on the other side the ground clearance is 135mm. 135 without a rider means with the rider it'll come down to 130 or even lower than that. That means the motorcycle will be having pretty bad ground clearance for our usage. That's what I told. If it's for European roads, it might be okay, but for Indian roads, it might be a little bit of problem. If you have a good national highway like this, and if you are going to use it on the highway, it is a good motorcycle. But if you are looking to use that in broken patch of road or a little bit of off-roading, then definitely no. And second thing is, like, it's not going to be the Interceptor posture. The riding posture is going to be the Meteor-like riding posture. You'll be having a relaxed foot peg, a cruise foot peg, and for the pillion as well, it is much relaxed. That's what I heard from other reviews. And the power and the torque figures are going to remain same. But what it amazed me is that this motorcycle is actually 201 kg or 202 kg roughly, and the Super Meteor is going to be 240 kg. 40 kg more means it is going to add a hell lot of weight. It is not just 40 kg. I mean, imagine having a 40 kg of rice on this motorcycle that you keep somewhere over here. So it is gonna really affect the dynamics of the motorcycle. That means that is not going to be a very good beginner friendly motorcycle. I myself don't suggest this motorcycle, the Interceptor 650, for a beginner. So Super Meteor is definitely not going to be a beginner motorcycle. You should be having some amount of experience in handling a heavy motorcycle. I don't say fast motorcycle, a heavy motorcycle. And since the power and the torque figures are almost same, even though Royal Enfield claimed that there are difference in tuning for the engine, probably they would have made the gear ratios a little shorter, but the power figures seems to be almost same. That means the engine is going to be on a very nicer side, a smoother side on the Super Meteor, because it's more heavy, so it takes a little more time to pull the motorcycle. And if it is going to have that strong mid-range, then you'll be able to comfortably cruise from a speed of 80 to 120 km per hour. And one problem which I face with the Interceptor when it goes to very high speeds is that it loses a little bit of confidence from the front end, because of two reasons. The suspension is very soft on this motorcycle, and this comes with conventional forks. So on the Super Meteor, you're gonna get an upside down forks. So the advantage is that you're gonna have a less unsprung weight, and definitely you are going to get a lot of confidence from the front end. That means 80 to 120 km per hour on the highway is going to be much comfortable than the Interceptor 650. So in that way, it is going to be a great highway tourer. And added weight, the 40 kg added weight is going to push the motorcycle down. It is not going to affect the riding dynamics. Definitely 200 plus kg means the motorcycle is not going to affect with the crosswinds and also. So that's also an additional advantage from a touring point of view. And if you look at the spec a little more closer, you can see that Royal Enfield has upgraded the rear brake, and which is a good sign, because Royal Enfield themselves has identified that the motorcycle, the Super Meteor, is going to be heavy, and since it's a cruising motorcycle, you need little more braking force from the rear side. So on a cruising motorcycle, you use a 50-50 braking. Probably your weight distribution will be 50-50, that the rider will be sitting and having the relaxed riding posture. So you need to apply some amount, not some amount, mostly 40% of the braking from the rear side also. So Royal Enfield has improved the braking from the rear by increasing the disc size, which is much appreciated. And I hope Super Meteor is gonna give a lot of light into the people who always crave for these LED lights. So for the first time, the Royal Enfield is going to bring in all LED lights on the motorcycle, the headlights, indicators, tail lights, everything. So hope these people will be finally happy for that reason. But again, I'm warning you one thing: halogen headlights are much better than the LED units, because halogen lights gives good throw to the rider, and it is not affecting too much for the opposite traffic. But LED lights, like, if the throw is not good, you have to upgrade it to a brighter LED, which actually affects the person who is coming on the opposite lane. So I personally feel that the halogens are really good for night use. But yes, if you're going for off-road and all, you can have auxiliary lights. So otherwise, stock halogens are such beautiful things. I really don't know why people actually cry for not having an LED light. So yeah, they'll be happy. And secondly, the motorcycle comes with all alloy wheels. So yes, that is also something trending. They don't want to keep that retro thing in that particular motorcycle. So I'm calculating this motorcycle to be on road for something like 4 to 4.5 lakhs on road. I'm talking about the on road cost, not the showroom. Then it is going to be a great value for money. The Solo Tourer and the Grand Tourer both are going to make a good sales in India. So if you have this kind of a doubt whether you should wait for this motorcycle, let me make this clear for you. If you are someone who is a beginner and who are just started with a 150cc motorcycle and not so confident about the motorcycle, I'll say that take your own time in learning the motorcycle. Take an older model of Classic 350 and learn riding heavy motorcycles. Then you come to this, because Interceptor itself is a heavy motorcycle. So definitely the Super Meteor is not going to be a much beginner friendly motorcycle for sure. And secondly, if you are someone who is going to be using this motorcycle completely for the city use, then also it is not that appreciated, because see, it's heavy. Second thing, it's going to have a little more wheelbase than these motorcycles. Looking at the images itself, we can make it out that it's going to be a longer motorcycle. So longer, less ground clearance, these are not a great signs of city motorcycle. I'm not trying to put a negative image on that motorcycle, but I'm just clearing you all that out. So now let's look at the positives of the motorcycle. If you're someone who is currently riding an Interceptor 650, and if you are looking for an upgrade for a tourer with your pillion, definitely this is going to be a nice motorcycle. Let me tell you this. This is just my thought. We can also have a debate in the comment section. Just think about this. I think Royal Enfield is trying to replace the Harley Davidsons, the entry-level Harley Davidsons, because the Harley Street 750 and the Street Rod 750 was there in the market, and actually that was selling great, irrespective of the fact that those motorcycles were initially lacking some braking by now, but still that motorcycle was selling in a good quantity. And now in India there are not much motorcycles like that, so I believe that they are going to compete with the Harley Davidson market, be it in India or outside India. They're gonna enter into that premium cruising motorcycle. The Street Rod or the Street Rod 750 is not in the same ergonomics motorcycle. Once you ride it, you will get to know. But they are also called as cruisers. They are like off-road cruisers. That's how I write it in my own book, because the riding posture is way different than what you see from outside. But the Super Meteor is going to be a much cruising motorcycle from a reference of the Meteor 350. So I believe if you're someone who is looking for a bigger cruiser, like if you're still looking for a second-hand Harley Davidson and all, this is going to be a nice motorcycle. And from the looks itself, the Solo Tourer actually looks like an Iron 883 from some angle, and the Grand Tourer actually looks like a BMW R80. That is actually going to get Royal Enfield a lot of sales. So I hope Royal Enfield will be bringing the motorcycle in a very good price bracket. And when you bring the motorcycle in a good price bracket, you have to make sure about the quality of the motorcycle. It shouldn't be like a compromised version of it, but still I wish it comes in a very affordable manner, and let Royal Enfield grow in this manner. Let them bring the 800s or the 900s if they can. So that's my take on the Super Meteor. So if you have anything in your mind, I don't know whether I'll be able to clear you all the doubts, but write your comment over there. Let's have a discussion, let's have a debate. So that's all with this video. I hope you like this video, and as always, show some love in the form of likes and comments. See you in the next video. Until then, bye bye. This thing is fun. This 2-cylinder is just fun.